I'm really kind of curious if iPadOS and macOS will somehow merge and just be one operating system. Who knows? Glad to have you with us today. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. Now, one of the things I always thought about, and some of my colleagues and friends that have Apple devices that are part of the Apple ecosystem like I am, one of the things that we asked about is that the iPads keep getting more powerful. We're at the M4 chip generation now. That's on the new iPad Air and iPad Pro, now in the 13-inch variants now. But one of the things that really that we asked is that why not have, now don't get me wrong, Apple does a great job. If you have all devices in the ecosystem, they all work simultaneously, but the problem is the software. You see, you can have the most powerful hardware, but if you don't have the right type of software or operating system, it is lackluster. It cannot take full advantage of the hardware. And that's where the debate goes for it. You see, it's very possible that they could make a macOS, just make it macOS all across the board and make it and get rid of iPadOS, or call it something new. Either way, now the problem is that macOS is not very touch sensitive. iPads are. They rely on your fingers and other devices, right? And the problem is that macOS, even though technically it does have it, but it doesn't have it natively touch drivers. So that means they will have to rebuild the whole operating system from scratch to make sure to include iPads as well. Now, you see, and that's going to cause a little bit more development issues down the road. You see? Now, is it possible they can do it one day? Absolutely, they can. And the thing is that they should, or now that Apple, I believe, with the when you develop App Center, there's a universal setting that makes it universal on the desktop macOS and iPadOS, but it should have been like that in the beginning. Matter of fact, Apple should focus more now of making sure that, even though, let's say you keep iPadOS and macOS separate, fine, but make sure that it'll be nice that wherever you make on the iPads or iPhones, that you can work on macOS. That way you have a continuous ecosystem. That means no matter what device I pull up, I should be able to pull up the same application. You could do it with Photoshop, because there's Photoshop variants on iPadOS and on iPhone OS. Oh, iOS, I'm sorry, iOS. But you see, that's the thing. That's what they need to focus on. Once they focus on that and then get with the developers and making sure it's the same code base and all that good stuff, then it'll be generally possible. And I believe that's going to be the future. Now that we're moving towards the AI future as well, Apple it's a pretty unique ecosystem because it's been a closed garden ecosystem for decades. Once you're in it, it's hard to leave. So it's its own entity itself. But if you want to keep people in this ecosystem, you need to make sure that no matter what device I own, I get the same experience. And by experience, I mean compatibilities of apps as well. Meaning, no matter what app I pull up, it should be able to work on my Mac Mini, Mac Studio, iPad Mini, iPad Pro. It doesn't matter device. If it has an Apple name on it, it should be compatible. Period. And that's the same thing. People have been asking about the stylus as well. Will a stylus ever come to iPhone? It's possible, but I don't see it because the main stylus for the iPhone is your finger. Could they develop something like a S Pen? Who knows? Would it be nice? It could be if the screen size of the iPhone gets any bigger. I mean, really big, like 6.9 or 7 inches. Then to me, maybe a stylus would be good because you take notes. But then again, that might cannibalize iPad sales because that's the point of iPads. But who knows what the future is. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that the merging of iPadOS and macOS should happen soon so it could be compatibility no matter what device you have? Or maybe it's a problem. Maybe they should keep it separate and just focus on building up the software iPadOS and make it more compatible. Be able to fully utilize the hardware they have. Either way, we're here for a good, promising future. AI is here and a bunch of other stuff. What a age to live in. I tell you what an age to live in.